Hello guys, I am back. Sorry for the long wait, but as you can see, I finally got gold on that track. A few more tries and I finally managed to get a decent position lock. It was pretty slow though, but I think I have an idea on how to get the plant now. However, as I found out, your timing on where to get the boxes needs to be very precise, because in case you're wondering, the plants, you can't dodge them at all. You can't dodge them anymore during the cycle. In the original, you could simply do a speed set strategy and just barely inch out the plant for free. In this game, though, you have to be very precise, to the point where you have to get it so that the plants are on a very perfect cycle. Otherwise, you don't get the plant. That's just terrible. I only earned the gold even with the 10-second boost, but I just wanted to show you guys that just because I finally did that and I don't want to deal with that. So anyways, welcome back. In the last episode, as you might have guessed, we left off kind of failing miserably at Papu Spearman. So I did that off camera, and now we're going to do our best to get all of the crates from now on in every single track, on gold for every track as well, and do our best to get everything, as well as some of the Beanox crates as well. I may do a separate run for those, however, because I'm not sure if they only spawn in adventure mode or later, but we'll figure it out. Either way, it's time for this level's time trial. Just like before, we're probably gonna have to go around the area slowly at first, just to figure out where all the dang boxes are, because that's what happens with these kinds of levels. And also, the secret will stay open permanently, but we use it all the way because of stuff. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be another one of those annoying ones. Anyone where you're forced to jump a lot is not fun for me, in my opinion, because there's quite a bit of stuff that could go wrong. In fact, all it takes is one failed jump and bam, you're just done. Some of them you get 2 tries at, but not all of them are very kind. Keep in mind, we still have to go decently fast, too, to get through everything. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out whether that's going to work or not. Oh, wow. Look at this. I should probably have not gone for the secret first. Look at this nonsense. Oh, and then there's this on the side as well. Of course I missed that. You know what? Okay, that's enough practicing for this run. We'll do it again on this run as well, and then after that we'll reset to try and get all the boxes. This time, of course, it's to get the box on the front hinge next. And, of course, this free first. Because for some reason, I really like getting this free. Again, not all of them are bad. Okay, let's see. I've almost good cycle. I was trying to get a decent cycle there, but fortunately it did not work out. Is there a box behind that? Are you kidding me? That's another one of those stupid boxes where you have to reverse into it, isn't it? Jeez Louise. I'm glad I'm learning things in this, because so far everything's been pretty painful. I can understand why they want you to get that box when getting the box from the side, because that becomes a lot easier to do once you do it that way. And that other one was too bad. I was hoping to get a decent cycle on this. Okay, so just YOLO on this side, and then turn around and... Oh, wait. That almost ended really badly. Okay, so we're gonna do the secret thrust, obviously. Wow, still stuck at 18. This is a good time. I should probably take it. I can get gold with this for sure if I'm good enough. Ah, nope, never mind. I mean plat. I meant the plat if I'm perfect. It should be more than enough for gold, so I'll just stay in on. We're not gonna necessarily get all the stuff, but if we ever end up doing that, then that would be really nice, because that would save us a lot of time going through everything. That one probably did it. Screw that. I'm gonna reset that. I'm pretty sure the guild's much longer than that, so we're gonna try this again and try to not miss that box, maybe. Go for this free. That was the one that we missed back then, so we need to make sure we get that one this time. Okay, let's figure out. This is good sale. Again, it just barely rolls. Okay, so on my next run then, I'm gonna obviously not go for that. Okay, that one's pretty obvious. You need the boost to make that. This one, I think right here is the one I missed, so let's get that first this time, maybe? Oh yeah, that one on the side. I can see why that one's bad. I may or may not end up having to drift into that. That's why it's so hard to get, I guess, seen. But now the right edge, or this way, right, and left, this. Oh, that free was the same free I missed before, of course. There's gotta be some way to get that every time, because that one's a screwy box there. Screw this, I'm gonna drift around this. Of course I missed that. I swear, every time I try and go for at least a half-decent drift, I always end up missing stuff. Let's just finish this off and see where the gold is, and we'll see if it's a free gold or not. Or at least a gold that requires not as much boxes as what would normally be in. There we go. I think I was approaching it from the wrong angle, that's all. I wanted to make sure I got that, at least. For the big finish, and it is a free gold. Okay, good. We'll just move on then. You see, I wish more of these golds could just be free like that. Remember, if it's gold or higher, we'll move on. All of the platinums will be gotten off screen later. Most of them are probably going to be easy though, but some of them require you to both drive perfectly and play well enough to get the 10-second bonus to pretty much use your time enough to get through it. It just shows how painful it is. And with that, we can finally move on to at least attempting the first adventure mode. So I'm going to do this as a speed run, simply because of the last spot that we have to do. Sheesh, I'm even playing the overwhelm movement like I'm losing. It just shows that I really want to win this. Back to the easy to get trophy races, at least until the last lap where things will get a little bit more tricky, and I also need to remember that this is not the original version, so I can't do many skips on these levels, but we'll still make it as fast as we can. I'm gonna mostly use this time to just do as many drift boosts as I can, because like I said later, I will need to do that a lot to beat the CPUs on hard. But it will only be for a few instances. It's still enough to the point where it'll be really annoying if I don't get stuff. So hopefully there's like an upgrade that makes me go a little bit faster, because I need that. Because the CPUs were clearly going faster than me in one of the spots. Of course I had to get stuck on one of them for some reason. Right into the barrel already. Terrible start. Nope. I'd rather not deal with this. What the heck was that? Got stuck, that's what. By the way, sometimes the music in Blizzard Buff in the original would break, so it's so good that it's not actually broken at all in this game, and it actually works properly, because this is one of the better tracks in the game. Oh, barely got that off. I think I'm gonna try and avoid jumps if I can. Unless doing the jump will make me go faster, then maybe not. That was really nice.
You call that racing?
You can tell I'm getting really tired of the thing when I just skip through all the results screens. It's mainly because I want to finish this as soon as possible so I could get to stuff that's maybe a little bit less annoying. Oh, and by the way, this time trial, when we come back to it, is going to be one of the worst in the game, just a fair warning. Of course, all of them are meant to be that way, but it really gets serious at Warp 3 and Warp 4. This is where things can just start going all kinds of wrong.
Dingo, dingo, dingo! Congratulations! You win a trophy!
Okay, going through everything. Then there's also Dragon Mines as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention Dragon Mines. Dragon Mines is another awful level for Dingodile, and another awful time trial level at that too. There's only a couple of them that are even decently easy. Most of them are pretty difficult, or at least have one difficult jump. And one of them's so difficult to the point where you can't just go in and just do stuff as best as you could. You have to get a boost at the start, and then you have to hold that for the entire duration. If you mess up even once, it just is. Of course, with that in mind, it's probably not going to any HUD or stuff. Bad start, as per usual, but that's always to be expected. It doesn't help when as I approach the very turn that I'm trying to get around, as Dingodile, I immediately get hit anyway. So as you can tell, based off of the way you go here, it's probably easier as Dingodile to just take a shortcut instead, but... Here's the secret, by the way. And I took it absolutely terribly. I went there simply because I thought there was gonna be a Beanox crate in there. Because they like to hide stuff like that all the time, but I guess not. But we'll just do that. Barely won that, but at least it hurts. Remember that shortcut, by the way. We're gonna have to get to that later. Again, that requires a very specific timing with, once again, boosting into there in order for you to get there fast enough to the point where the thing will not stop you. It's also another one of the spots where you want to hop rapidly to preserve your speed so you don't get slowed down as much, though it's pretty tricky to do in this game. So, that I'll have to figure out later. Of course, most of the golds from now on will be done on camera. It's just that I want to complete the storyline as soon as possible, because if I get through that, then I can do lots of different stuff.
Congratulations! You win a trophy!
And cause why not, let's actually activate the save this time around. Probably haven't used one of those. And speaking of which,
This is the load save screen. There are 5 of these screens.
in case you're wondering, this autosaves. They make the load save screen load a lot quicker. In some of the, in this version, I like it. Figured I'd do that just for old time's sake. Cause why not? I'm not sure what is actually the fastest to do, but usually I do all 3 of the other items in this world before I leave. So this will be quite a bit different, just going straight to the end.
Move over, mate!
Of course, right into a missile, because I was supposed to know that's coming. Oh, he missed me. He missed me. That was close. Okay, that was probably bad, so I'm not gonna bother. I blocked that with with the jar somehow. That was nice. That was almost terrible. Another slow one. There are ways to skip that, in case you didn't already know. I'm usually good at jumping on it in the original, but in this remake, it seems much harder to do that, though. Oh, that was scary again. Well, you barely made it over. Okay, it was still good race, thankfully. Nice. Keep in mind, I probably will have to use the drift a lot better to get some of the boxes regardless. Some of them, if I go super fast as well, it might even be better to just let the jump care rather than even bothering to jump a second time, as I may end up jumping over some boxes instead.
Dingo, dingo, dingo! Dingo, dingo!
Okay.
Congratulations! You win a trophy!
Okay. Let's keep going. Yes, in case you're wondering, we're just doing all the trophies to get them out of the way so that we could just go straight to the end and then later go in and get other stuff. I may consider doing all of the airpods though if they're in a good spot, but other than that, I'll probably just make everything easier, I'll just go around the worlds one by one, 100%ing it until later we can head back to the final world later. Once we have everything. That's the way I'm gonna do it, at least. And Tiny Arena. Arguably the worst track for Dingodile, and you'll probably see why. We're gonna have to do a lot of power sliding, and we're going to have to do it quick. Because look at some of these turns. Like, I don't know how the game expects Dingodile to make these, but it's just really brutal. But it's also a good chance for us to practice some drifts, since we need to do practically tons of them to get around anywhere. Not all of them are bad, it's just there's some particular ones that are really bad. Cool. Nope. Just look at that. One messed up turn is all it takes. As a result of this, characters like Kura, in this case, and Polar would normally be pretty bad at the game in terms of speed. Can actually do pretty well at this course because of just having a slower speed, but probably arguably the best turret overall, and they're obviously the best characters to play with if you first get into this game. But obviously, since I've played enough of this on its own, I prefer to play as Dingodile, and of course I also prefer to play as Dingodile just because, like I said, Dingodile is like the most like Yoshi, at least in this game, so I use him since this is in Mario Kart. If I ever do a Mario Kart playthrough, it would be only with Yoshi. Thankfully, it'd be a lot easier because Yoshi isn't a speed character in that game, so it's much easier to navigate through all the turns, but it is much easier to win some of the races with him. Kura's standing on my tail the entire time. Okay, not bad. I think you have to, like, right shift there as Dingle to get through. Thankfully, it looks like everything else is still doable. Almost everything else, at least, is doable with Dingodile. That isn't kind of ridiculous. I did say, though, you are gonna have to do a lot of drifting on there. That's probably going to make Tidy's Arena, for me, the worst time trial in the game, just because as Dingo, we pretty much have to drift everywhere, so that means it's going to be terrible, as we're going to break everywhere, and it's just going to be terrible. I can just see it coming. If you're playing as one of the easier characters, it wouldn't be a challenge at all. Like, when I re-ran the game, I actually originally ran with Cortex instead, since he has slightly good enough turning to the point where he'd be better at doing this track than Dingodile. But obviously, Coco and Engine would probably be the best for this track, just because of their faster speed. But again, I will try and get all the platinums with Dingodile just to make things more fun.
Mate, you call that racing?
Okay, we made that work. We made that work. As for what those coins are, I think I'll look at that later, I'm guessing. Keep in mind, you can only use them or get them if you have a Nintendo account on this, or if you're playing on the PlayStation 4 version, a PlayStation 4 network account. If you were playing on the PS4 version of the game. So, yeah. Otherwise, your coins won't be saved.
Dingo, dingo, dingo.
Alright.
You've beaten all the other racers on these tracks. Well, now you'll see why I'm the most feared driver on this circuit. I'll earn the right to face oxide by crushing you into brake dust. Let's race.
Because of the way this track is laid out, this is probably the worst of the bosses. Probably worser than Oxide, though. If Oxide's cheating powers, Oxide's probably still gonna be decently tough, though, because of stuff. And everyone's gonna be extra tough as well. See, it is how I'm playing as Dingo, so the Turnia is gonna be much harder to do. But yeah, nothing much else to do other than just play earthly and hope for the best here. We're going through pretty quickly, by the way. I like this. We could probably finish the final blast in this episode if we're good enough, since we can reload checks really quickly in this game. I think it's not until much later, but there's one opponent in particular. Okay, that's probably the best I can do with that. That break there, I'd probably rather get that than the long. So went all the way to the edge to try to evade that cart there. Mine cart, rather. Yep. Again. That was weird. Geez, I might actually lose to this boss because of that dumb mistake. Oh, never mind. Never mind, I still did it. Never got that mistake before. In fact, that was probably worse than getting hit by the truck. I should have just gotten hit by that.
You're not so slow after all. Surprised me, you did. Here's a key for the win. Still, I think you're not fast enough to outrace Oxide. We're going to lose our planet, and it'll be all your fault.
Yeah, I think not, though. Oxide's probably twice as tough in this version. In the original game, there was a big, ginormous step you could do that skipped so much in Oxide Station. Oxide could potentially be our easiest boss battle yet. Of course, in this game, not so much. Keep in mind, he still has his cheat start from the original, probably, so he's still gonna be pretty tough to beat. Even though he's on easy mode in this, it's still gonna be kinda tough. And we're gonna unlock him because of this stuff. In fact, since we go straight to each of the warps, I think going through all the warps might be faster than just getting all the stuff. Oh gosh. I'm not going in a good spot, aren't I? This area is kind of confusing to navigate, unfortunately. And we're starting with Cortex Castle, because why not? One of the race tracks are the same again for Dingodile, because, well, yeah. I don't know. It is definitely one of the worst tracks for trying to drive really well, because it's very difficult to do so. There is yet another trick we can do to make it useful. Probably just gonna evolve, like, Hupside everywhere, because when we, there is another trick where you could do where you could simply just jump on that spot and that'll also help us turn good. That's probably what we're gonna have to do is Dingodile. When I initially played this, I got stuck everywhere, so let's hope that doesn't happen. There's one turn in particular that I'm gonna talk about that's really bad for Dingo. Everything else should be alright, just that one turn can be annoying. And this one, I don't really know which one's faster, so I kind of just go wherever. This is one of those turns, but it's the easier one. And then there's this. This right here is absolute madness. The original game, I don't know how they expected you to do that as Dingo, but it's absolutely terrible. Looks like they actually made it better in the remake, thankfully. I expected that to be a lot harder. but still. And here's our first super pad. Unique to the fourth world are these super pads that if we keep for a long time, we can go very, very fast, but it's going to require a lot of stuff to do. Ah, of course. Not even on the hardest turn, and I already fall on the easiest part of the track. And sometimes when I rage restarted, I restarted just because I got hit by cells, and I was getting annoyed at that. But really, I don't need to deal with that. If I get, so I could just catch up. Let's go for it. Oh, of course I didn't make it. Okay, that's probably the best that I could do with that, to keep it as long as possible. Yeah, that's probably the best way of doing that. I think I got that guy. Okay, well that's not gonna do it. Ugh. Lost because of a dumb turn. Didn't even... Can't even do the easier turns, right? And now you see why I hate Cortex's Castle so much. It's a really annoying track for Dingodile, and it just took me out once. Yeah, keep in mind, this is all still on easy difficulty, so they should not be beating me. It's because they got lucky, did other stuff. And of course, because I had to get hit by a missile. Seems like with all these fails, I always get hit by either bunches of other stuff or just one missile in the terriblest of spots. Like, the missile jail is so annoying to deal with. Okay, obviously this jump is not working at all. Even though it is faster to go through it, I think the way I need to approach it is going to be a lot more different. Okay, that was the best I've done that turn in a while. Oh, that was a weird line there. As you can see, Dingodile driving is kinda hard on this course. I think you have to do it this way. Oh, every time I almost make it the first try, but then I just barely mess it up. I have to remember how to do that too eventually, because remember, we're still doing the time trials. What's annoying is I'm pretty sure you have to use that jump to get up there. I'm just doing it all kinds of wrong whenever I do it. Okay, we brought that back on a second try at least. Don't know why I had to take more than one try though. That's the version 2. I'll see. Usually the bosses are more difficult, and there's one boss in particular that's a lot more difficult than all the other ones. That can actually hit you regardless of how far you are. That's Pinstripe. Yeah, Pinstripe is gonna be obnoxious probably, but we could still win. We just need to be not just a little bit ahead. We need to be really far ahead. And his area doesn't really have any shortcuts to begin with, so not much thingy.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong, ding. Congratulations! You win a trophy.
I was hoping to maybe go right. That might have been better.
To access this track, you must first collect the...
Yeah, I know that. I'll just go down this way towards it. Engine Labs should have definitely been first on this. I'm gonna make sure I do this first for that, and if I play the game or speedrun, because it's just in a really obnoxious spot in this game. Well, it always has been like that, even in the original. I don't know why I did that. That was terrible. Make sure I don't mess up on that turn again. That's why I took it that way, 'cause be fair though, this is the 4-pop world, so it's to be expected pretty much. Engine's Lab in the original has a really cool glitch where right here, if you jump off the right, you could barely nick the edge of that other platform. Doing so will make you go faster than what the game usually intends you to go, and you can use it to get some insane speed, but it's pretty risky to do as a beginner player, as it results in lots of crazy things happening. I'm worried that there's a kill plane there that just respawns me, so that's why I did not go for that. Regardless. Because in the original there was nothing there. You could just jump right on it and it would activate. It's a pretty cool trick. In fact, you could hit the booster and then immediately activate it by heading to the right. It's a pretty neat trick. Not gonna show it off, of course, because it's way too difficult in this game, probably. That's all I can assume.
Dingo, dingo, dingo.
Keep in mind, just because we beat Oxide, it's not going to be the finale just yet. We have to get all the time Alex after all this is said and done. Nice entry there. My overwhelm movement is getting a lot cleaner, I think. It's been really good so far. Funny, I've been dying a lot of missiles already. I guess this is nothing different. I can also stop bombs in that same way, actually, but I don't know. It depends. Yeah, I could definitely stop bombs as well, but those can usually just be avoided in other ways. 'Cause why not? Pinstripe's minions are already here, and Pinstripe isn't even on yet. A lot of the planes have been removed in this spot to make things a little bit easier to see. Sheesh, what's with everyone getting into the lead out of nowhere? Here, I thought I was gonna be in the lead, so how about maybe I get into the lead now? Nope. Have to do that just to make sure I don't fall. Oh, missiles are terrible in this game. They don't even have locking on properties half of the time. Usually they do. That's another turn where Dingodile is just terrible at for some reason. See, how do they always do that perfect? And of course I missed the jump. By the way, if you miss the jump in this, you have to redo the thing again. Okay, never mind what I said. Honor Sky may actually be a lot tougher than I expected, just because the CPU for some reason is playing it perfectly. This is easy mode and they're still destroying me. If this was on hard, I wouldn't even stand a chance at this track. Louise, why is Cortex? Screw this. Screw this. I'm gonna have to restart. Hitix absolutely chilled me there, as well as every other CPU. There must be another way to do this fast. I just know it. Here I thought I was going decently for this enough. So why was Cortex just getting ahead of me there? We will never know, because honestly, that's probably the best a DC CPU has ever done in any of these races. Usually I get ahead of everyone straight away, and that's not a joke. But thanks for saying, of course, and it's because he has better speeds as well than me, at least around the turns, that he's just doing so much better for some reason. Usually I'm the one that destroys everyone, but the CPUs are keeping up with me. Did they really increase the difficulty to medium? If so, then I'm not a fan of it. You can even hear us laughing too. This is already not crazy enough. Oh, that turn was really tight though. I like it. I knew that would happen. Somehow I saved myself from falling. Cortex is one of the characters I used to play, so normally when I play this game, I usually play as him, but I thought for the playthrough I'd do this just to make things a lot more difficult, just for fun. Myself up to 10 WUMPA just to make sure it is a little bit easier. Wow, I took that like a god, honestly. That was a really terrific turn, especially for Dingo. Okay, so yeah, I was correct. If you jump enough times while you have that super boost, you preserve your speed, so that's by far the fastest way to go for this. And look, now he fell off! He was doing so well, and now he fell off. Like, what the heck? Why couldn't he just do that from the beginning? Like, why did he have to destroy me in one of the races? That just wasted so much time. Like, honestly, I don't believe what happened there. And that's not easy, too. Like, on hard, this would probably be impossible to do just because of the stuff. But I'll see. Because of crazy stuff, I may not actually do all of the hard cups on camera, just because they definitely seem a little too hard to win. Pretty much requires you to be perfect. And I'm getting super hot for some reason. Why am I so hot? That's not fun. But I can't turn on my fan though, because that would make a sound. Gosh dang it. Does my room always have to be like this? Ugh. Annoying. But I have to keep recording.
Dingo, dingo, dingo. Dingo. Congratulations! You win a trophy!
Now we can finally go to the boss of this race, or almost to the boss. Side station changed a little bit. Instead of going to it via the big deep inside warp pipe, you go to it via space station, which is kind of interesting. Honestly, I don't even know what happened in Hot Air Skyway. That was terrible, that's what happened. This is the longest race in the game, by the way, so hopefully we manage to survive all the way to the end. Oh, come on. Already? We're getting this. Keep in mind, this is on Classic, so I don't even know if they're on Easy or Normal. It's hard to know. I think it's kind of a mix-up of all the difficulties. That's what Classic truly is. So later when I do this on Cups, every run will be even harder to beat because they'll be on Medium. Medium makes the CPUs more tough. At least that's what Classic used to do, if I remember correctly. Oh, look at that slow motion. I like that. That's one thing they added. That's one unique thing that I think I like that they added for this track in the remake, is that you get a whenever you go over that jump now, which is really nice addition considering this was kind of tricky to do otherwise. Again, as Dingodile, this track is just like all the other runs in Warp 4, really hard for him. Oh, jeez. Could I just get the boosters, maybe? Okay, that broke really early. Come on, someone needs to hit that. I think Crash just did, so he fell down. Okay, that should make the test of this easy. I really like what they did with that. I like that. This is a really cool track if you play this animally, because like, if you do it just right, you can keep the boost for a long time. It just goes extremely fast. It's really funny. In fact, it's good that it has that, because Oxide is one of the toughest challenges yet, and need everything we can get to beat him. Okay, well now we're ahead. I don't know why this couldn't happen in the last place, but I'm glad that it happened this time, finally. In case you're wondering, Oxide is kind of a mix of the other characters. So while he won't always do his special thing, sometimes he can use bombs just like Pinstripe, only he won't use them all the time like Pinstripe does. He's more like a mixed person. He'll use the potions, then the TNTs, and then something else, and then the bombs. He switches between those three things at random. Okay, I'm gonna actually end this right here. Right here, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.